Greetings everyone. Welcome again to the Business Application Show, where we talk about business application and Power Platform applications. From last couple of sessions, we have been discussing about Power Platform and Power Pages. So we are continuing on the same, and today as well we are going to discuss about the Power Pages. So let me share the content. So today we are going to talk about how we can utilize JavaScript in Power Pages to make them more interactive. Okay, so we have done earlier sessions on the Power Pages and scripting, where we talked about how we can utilize Web API, right, to perform different actions on the Power Pages. But today we are going to talk about how specifically JavaScript we can use to make forms more interactive. If we want to add our custom JavaScript, what are the places where we can add these JavaScripts? And if we want to add your common files, want to create a JavaScript library, how you can utilize that, how we can create that. And if you want to introduce some custom event, how you can do that. So that's what we are going to talk today. So this is the high level agenda for us. And before jumping onto the main agenda, let's have a quick introduction about ourselves. So myself is Mahender, and I have my friend Venkata with me. So we both are Microsoft as well as C# Corner MVPs. So we have been working with Dynamics CRM. It's more than 10 years now. So we are going to have this session. So I will be taking part first, where I will be explaining all that topic that I had discussed, and after that I will shift mic to my friend Venkata, and he will show you the demo on these topics. Okay, so let's jump into our topic. So we know that Power Pages is nothing but a website development, right? So we create our own website, we create our own web pages. This can be your internal portal, or this can be client facing that you have built for your company. So it provides us you different variation that you can use Power Pages to build different data driven dynamic websites. Okay, and whenever we are talking about the dynamic websites, the JavaScript plays a very critical role there, right? So when we want to work with data, or we want to put some kind of validation on that pages, of course we want to use JavaScript or jQuery to perform those set of actions, right? So similar to that, in Power Pages as well. So when we have our Power Pages, we build our couple of pages, or under that pages we are referring this Microsoft Dataverse forms. There as well, if we want to utilize some implement some kind of capabilities, like for example hiding showing the fields based on particular conditions, okay, or auto populating some of the data. So for example, there is some field that we want to, as soon as the web page is loaded, we want to populate them. Okay, so those type of thing can be easily done using the JavaScript, and that basically add much flavor of the dynamic, making the contents, making that form layout dynamic, that we can do using the JavaScript. Okay, similar to that, if we let's say if user entering some data, and we want to validate that if this data is correct or not, before that data can be sent to server. Okay, so if you want to do some kind of validation on that, if this data is correct or not, right, those can be done using JavaScript easily. So we can perform JavaScript action where we can read value of those fields, read that particular data element using JavaScript, and perform our set of operations depending on the requirement. It depends on what is your requirement, right? It could be auto population of data, validation of the data, or hiding showing the data. That totally depends on the specific business scenario. So those type of things we can do using JavaScript. Okay, so that's what we are going to talk today, and we will see that how we can utilize JavaScript to make Power Pages more interactive using this JavaScript. scripting technologies. Okay, so we are talking about that in the Power Pages we will be using JavaScript. Okay, so we said okay we can use JavaScript, but what are all the places? What are the different places where we can place our JavaScript and we can refer it or put that kind of validation or logic that we want to use? So those can be done using that. Okay, so in the Power Pages here, the first thing that we can apply our JavaScript on the web pages. So under the web pages, so our Power Pages basically combination of different pages, right? So we can have different pages depending on your Power Page sites. Maybe you have one page website, two page, three page, depending on that. So in every page, a web page, we have a section where we can apply our custom JavaScript and we can use that place to add our logic there. Okay. The another option that we have is the web file. Okay, so if you want to use a reusable file, it means like you created one common file and you want to use that common file in multiple pages. Okay, so on the multiple pages, on the multiple forms, so there we can use this option for the web files where we can attach our file. We can create our JavaScript library and attach it, and then after that refer it on a different pages. So it's basically kind of a common library that we can create. Okay, and then we can put it on the web template. So in our earlier session we discussed what are the web template, how we can use web template to lay out that Power Pages. So in the web template also we can utilize JavaScript and we can also write JavaScript code there, right? And then we have the entity forms. So entity forms are basically the dataverse forms, okay, that will be rendered on the web pages. So we can also apply at that entity forms level as well. We can put our JavaScript there and we can utilize the form fields and refer them and do the validation or perform the set of action that we want to do. And then next thing we have the entity list. So entity list are basically the view, right? When we are on the web page and we are seeing some list of the records, so that basically we use entity list to render those set of records. And using this entity list as well, we can apply JavaScript. So sometimes depending on the scenario, sometimes we want to hide some button that is part of the entity list, or maybe you want to hide some kind of column that is displayed there. So it could be different requirements. So depending on that, there also we can write our JavaScript. And then last one is that the content snippet, that is also where we can also use and we can create a common places, and these content snippet also can be referred on the different pages. So that's the another way we can utilize our JavaScript on these Power Pages. Okay, so Power Pages components. So we have these. You can see we have different places. So depending on that, we have their own things. So for example, if we are saying that if we write something on the Power this web page, so that script will be only available on this particular one web page. It won't be available onto another, right? But if we are using as a web files, it means you created one file and that one file can be referred on the multiple web pages, or you can also refer them on the entity forms as well. So depending on what is your requirement, how you want to implement that, we can utilize these places to put our JavaScript. Okay. Now we know that okay, these are the places where we can utilize to put our JavaScript. So let's see how we can access form elements. Okay, so we said that okay, we can use JavaScript to make it more interactive or make it more dynamic. But how we are going to access those elements, that's what here we can see. Like for example, that this is simple a traditional just like if you are working on any traditional website, and or whether it's a HTML page or it's a ASP.NET page or any .NET core pages, so where we can utilize scripting. So we can refer that element using the HTML get element by ID. So this is basically the DOM object that we can refer here, document dot get element by ID, and then we can refer the name of our field. Okay, So you can see here I have used a prefix. So if it's a custom field, then you need to use the prefix. So depending on what is your publisher, while you are doing customization on the Power Pages or in the Dataverse, when you have built those custom fields, what prefix you have used, you can use that, and then name of your field. Using this you can refer that element, and you can dot value, you can access value of that field. So for example, if you want to check that, okay, if that value is that is user have entered there, that is valid or not, so in order to get that value you can use this option. So it will help you to get it there. Okay. And similarly, if you want to set that value, you can also use the same thing to get that element, and then you can set using the value, and you can assign directly whatever value you want to use. So for example, let's say I have some email field. Okay, under the email field I want to first I'm reading it, and then I'm setting it some email ID, so we can use it like this. Okay, so this is a standard JavaScript methods. This is a standard JavaScript way of accessing elements. Okay, so whatever your field, whether it's a text field or numeric field or drop down, or any kind of other custom HTML element that you have created, you can refer them using their particular ID, right? Now, if you want to access it using jQuery, so using jQuery, then you can use simply this $ hash, and then you can use the same thing what we use for our field name, and then dot val. If we want to set value of this, that okay, in this field I want to set this value using jQuery. Okay, so this using this way we can set the value, and similarly we can also access the field value as well using jQuery. Okay, so these are the two scripting way we use, whether you are using JavaScript or jQuery. Using these you can access the element of the form. And as I said that whatever field you are using, a text field, date field, numeric field, drop down, whatever field is there, all the field can be accessed using the same manner. Okay, and then once you have the data with you, you can perform whatever action you want to do, or whatever validation you want to do. You can hide, you can simply use that standard methods of scripting, like hiding that, making that visible, so setting the visible false or true depending on the requirement. Okay, now we know that, okay, where is the place, what are all the places where we can apply our JavaScript, and now we know that how we can refer form components, form object that is there, the field that we have on the form. Now let's see how we can apply these JavaScript on the places. So the first thing, that is basically inline JavaScript. So in some places, the place that we discussed in the first slide, okay, these are the places where we can apply our JavaScript. In some places we apply JavaScript as a inline, means we have some place and we are writing our JavaScript there. So for example, in the first screen you can see this is a web page. Okay, and under the web page we have a tab here, advanced, and if you will scroll on this advanced, you will see there is a section called custom JavaScript. This section help us, and this is basically work as a editor where we can write our JavaScript, whatever JavaScript we want to apply, our JavaScript code can be placed there. Okay, so we can use the script tag, and under that we are using this document.ready, which basically help us to that, okay, once this page is completely loaded, then run or then execute this particular JavaScript that we have placed here. Okay, so this way our code will only run when the complete web page will be loaded. So if they have their own something, let's say if there is some platform set of operations that is running, there is some set of platform code that will execute, and after that our code will execute, right? So that's the place we see basically for the web page. Now, as I said that apart from the web page, we can also add our JavaScript on the entity forms. Okay, so this entity forms basically the dataverse form that we are referring on the web pages. So we call them as a basic form as well. So if you will open that basic form, under the basic form, there is a tab here called additional settings. And if you will scroll down, there also you will get that, custom JavaScript section where we can add our JavaScript. Okay, so similar to that, you can see here that is also, on that ready, that once this is loaded, we want to, run our code there, and you can see that I'm using this jQuery to get that value and set that value. So similar to that, we can set value of the field which is part of the basic form or entity form. Okay, so these are the places where we are basically injecting our JavaScript, right? We are writing inline JavaScript. So these will be placed there only, and it will execute on these particular web page and on this particular entity forms. Okay, these script won't be available into the other places, right? But now let's say if we want to make a library, JavaScript library that can be referred on the multiple places on the multiple web pages or multiple entity form. So in that case, we can create web files. So there is a, in the Power Pages management application. So there is a model driven app, right? In for the Power Pages, Microsoft provides a model driven app. Under that, we have an option that we can add web files, and in the web files we can create our files and we can upload the JavaScript. So there is an attachment option. We can use that attachment option, that okay, we have this file and we want to upload it as a attachment, or we can also place that inline if required. But when you will add this JavaScript like this, so it will become a JavaScript library. Okay, so it can be referred on the web pages, entity forms, and or the web templates. So anywhere you can refer them. So once this is saved, you can refer them like this. So you can mention that script and screen, and then you can write the web files and then name of your file. So for example, if it's a common.js, you can write that, and then you can, this is a standard way, like, just like you refer in any web page. When you have some JavaScript library, you want to refer them on the web pages, so you include that reference like this only. Okay, so same way here, we can refer our web files. So this way we can create our reusable file which can be referred into multiple places. Okay, now we know that in the model driven app we have different events that is exposed. If you are already worked with the model driven app, so there are different events that is exposed where we can apply JavaScript. Okay, so in coming session we will be starting on the customizations, where we will be discussing how we can apply JavaScript on the Microsoft first party applications. But here on these pages, on the web pages, let's say if we want to include our JavaScript based on particular event. So we want to say that, let's say for example, I have a requirement. Okay, when I have, let's say, one text field, and I'm saying that when someone will change value of this text field, then I want to execute my code. Okay, or if there is a button that I have created, when someone will click on that button, that time I want to execute my code. So then we can utilize these custom actions to put our code. So for example, this one is for the page load, which is basically we use simply like document.ready, that when that complete page is loaded, okay, let's apply our code. So which maybe, let's say, if you want to display something on the header or render something on the web page, or you want to hide some fields depending on check, okay, based on the user, okay, what is the user web roles, depending on that you want to hide some fields. So then in this place you can apply your JavaScript. Okay, and then for the field one, we can have like field name and then on, and then we can refer change and then function and then our JavaScript. So this will bound that change event with your text field. So when the, someone will change value of this text field, then whatever code you have written, that will execute. Okay, so this is how we can bound that field on change event on the web page. And similar to that, if we have any button and we want to write our button code, we can simply say that, just like for example, this is a ID of the button, submit button, and then on click I want to execute alert submit clicked. Okay, or whatever. If you want to create, record into, your some table and using the web API, we can also write that code here on this button. Okay, so these are the thing there. That is the way where basically we can write our custom events and we can use them on the web pages to perform these actions. Okay, now these this is what we wanted to discuss today. Let's see all this in the demo. So I will pass mic to my friend Venkat and he will show you demo on these things.
Yeah.
Hi Venkat, over to
Thank you.
you.
Yes. Thank you. Let me share my screen. So hope you can see my screen.
We are not able to see yet. We're still seeing the demo, my last slide.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let me
still we cannot see it
share.
yet.
Let me share again.
Okay, maybe you can retry to do that. Stop and share again.
Yes, yes. I did that.
Okay,
How
yeah,
about now?
sometimes there is some. No, still not visible. I still see my PPT. Okay, maybe you can check that if there is anything else blocking your screen sharing. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, sometimes if that's there is some other things that is blocking your screen sharing. You check if there is any media stream that's going on.
okay. How about now?
No, still not. Still, I see my demo slide only. Maybe you can close all the application if there is any other application open in case they are blocking it.
Yeah. Let me rejoin again. Okay.
Yeah, okay, sure, no worries. Okay, so we are having a little bit issue here. Venkat having some issue on screen sharing, so he's just trying to rejoin here. So once he will rejoin, then we will discuss all that things. So we'll see that how we can write our JavaScript on the different places that I discuss, and how we can apply on these, and what are the different type of validation that we can use. Okay, so we will showcase this on that. Yeah, sometime it happens. Okay, Venkat, I see that you have rejoined. Let's try to connect and try to share your screen again. Venkat, are you there?
Yes. Yes. Can you hear
Yeah, I
me?
think yeah, I can see something. Yep. Now we see that
Okay.
sessions. So yeah, maybe you can share.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you see my portals one?
Yep. 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 We can see that portal. Clear cache screen.
Okay. Yes, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now what we are going to do was, so in this particular navigation, right, just I am going to create one page. Okay. So with that, just I will keep it as an contact information. Test page I will keep it. And then I will click on add. Just I am adding it here. I'll take one particular form, choose some table information. Just I will take this one. Okay. So if I see this one, just I will see it here. Just what I took, right? I took one particular page. In that
I'm
particular
sorry to
page,
interrupt, Venkata. Can you please
this
be a little louder?
yeah, just I took one particular page. In that particular page, I have added this particular form control. In this particular form control, right, just this is on the address table. In this particular address table, I have given these particular details. So just I am going to give the permissions for this one. Like I will give this read, update, create, delete. And I'm going to add the roles, administrators, and authenticated users. And I am clicking on save. Now just I am clicking on sync so that my particular page will get the updates. Okay. Now if I am going to back to here, okay, I see my particular test page is present. Now what I am going to do, right? Just in it, so first, this is how we are going to inspect any particular element. So my intent here was just I'm going to play around here on this particular street. Okay. So before that, let us go to the Power Apps Studio. Okay. So here, if you go back to here in the Power Apps management, here you see these different particular web pages that are present. So let us see whatever that web page that I have created is present or not. Yes, it is present. Okay. Now, if I go back to here, like whatever the JavaScript file, like whatever the customizations and whatever the rules that we are going to keep it right, that will come and sit here. Okay. This is one way of doing this one. So another way was just go back to here and click on this particular edit code. This is the online visuals code so that we are going to use it. So if you compare, right, whatever this advanced tab where this custom JavaScript is present, this is nothing but here this custom JS that is present. So what I'm going to do it is just I'm trying to verify whether my script is loaded. So for that, this is what I'm going to keep it here. Now, what is that I have to do? It was just I have to clear the particular cache and then clear the config. Now come back to here and just observe this is my test base. This is nothing but just we have written. That means whatever the JS, okay, whatever that particular content that we have written in this particular custom JS file. If you observe right, this is my page. Every page will have the CSS and JS file and the web page copy.html. In our previous sessions, everything that we are playing around here in this particular HTML. Okay. Now in this particular session, right, we are going to play around with this particular JS file. Okay. Now, what is that? Just I am going to do, right? So just you can inspect this one. So what is that? Is okay. I wanted to populate this particular zip and postal code by default whenever my page gets loaded. So for that, what is that we have to do? It was we have to use the developer tools. Like this is the edge that I am using it. So if you use it right, this is the control that is present where we are going to inspect it. Okay. So here just I will select in this zip code and just observe. Here we have this ID as the postal code. Okay. So we have to come to here and see it. There are two ways of doing it is one by using the DOM and another one is by using jQuery. Okay. So first thing which I am going to use is DOM and plain HTML, plain way. Okay. This is document dot get element by ID is equal to I'm giving my pin code. Okay. So this is how just you can set this value. So just I am saving this one. So what is that I have done is I'm whenever this particular test page has been loading, I want this particular zip code to be automatically filled. So if you observe right, as of now, this particular zip code does not have any value. Now I saved this one. I'm going back to here. I click on clear cache. Then the clear config. So clear cache, you can do it. Right? That would be suffice. In case if you don't find the values or the things that are not getting reflected, then you can go with the clear config. So just you can refresh this particular test page. Do you observe this 584 has been uh, set? Okay. Now, um, second way of doing it is now by using the jQuery. So for this jQuery, what we are going to do it is we are going to do it here, and then here just we are going to keep it here as I will change this value. Now just I will clear the cache. Now if I click on this one, just observe right, previously we have used the normal document DOM element, document dot get element by ID, and we have tried to update this one. Now I have used the jQuery to make this value with another value. If you observe, I have this one. So just if you observe, this is how you can do that particular details of it. Now I wanted to perform hiding. Okay, hide this. So let us go back to here. I wanted to hide this street too. Okay, so for that again, just go back to here, street 2. Okay, so here ID is the line 2. So line 2 I have to create here. Okay, so if you get the some kind of requirement saying that hide some of some out of box fields. Okay, so what we are going to do it here was we'll try to give this one. We'll see it. In fact, I wanted to hide this particular line too. Let me save it. So let us go back to here and see. Still, this particular line 2 is present. So that means this is not being used. So let us try this. If you observe the line 2, okay, the input value line 2 is there, right? It has been hidden. Do you see this one? Style display now. Only whatever the thing that I am seeing, it is just the test cell of it only. Okay, but the actual, the particular value what is present, right, that is not present. You see this is present, and if I refresh it, then you don't see this particular field. So this is how, right, you can easily perform the show and hiding of any particular elements here. Now let us go back to here. Now I wanted to perform some particular validation of it. Okay, that is nothing but the on change of it. Okay, so this is my submit button. If I see this particular value, this is my insert button. Okay, this is the ID. So what I am going to perform is on the click of this button, I am going to see for this particular postal code value, I have the value which is which length whose length is greater than, and say 6, okay, or equal to 6. If it is less than 6 or greater than 6, then I have to provide one particular error. So how we are going to do it is by giving like this. Okay, I'm going to use the jQuery only. So insert button dot click, and here just I'm going to use So so what I am going to do it is just I am uh, dot length is not equal to 6. Okay, then what I am going to do it is I am going to use this e dot prevent default method, and then just I am giving an alert saying that please enter 6-digit postal code only. So now I am going to clear this particular cache. So just I am verifying whether I have received any particular errors. So I don't find this particular errors. So now what I am going to do it is I'll provide this captcha. Do you see this one? Please enter 6-digit postal code only. Okay. So just it when I clicked on this one again it came in. So you can also do that one if at all any particular error comes, right. Just simply you can see that one. Okay. You can use this focus function also to go to this particular jQuery element. Like how we are going to do it is dot focus. Now let us click here. Just clear the cache. Now just I am refreshing this one page. This is just page. Okay. So now given this one. You see this one. The details have been kept like this one. Okay. So there was an unknown failure because just I have kept this e dot prevent failed default and then given. If you can given this return also, then we should come back to the cache. So like this, you can easily get that particular focus and then get the details. So this is how simply you can perform any particular validations of it. And now going to this particular web file, how we are going to add this particular web file. So go back to this particular management studio, and then so this Power Pages management. Here in this particular pages, you will see this particular web files. Now what we are going to do it is we are going to use one particular common JS file where I am going just to use it here. So common, okay. And I am using this one page, and I'm going to use so one page common.js. So now go, there are some fields are there. This is publishing state. So generally we have to use this publish to. If at all we feel this particular JS file is ready. Now I can perform whatever the content file that is present, right? I can use this particular file content. Also, there are two things as an attachment, content disposition and the content as an inline. So I can also use the cloud blob address for mentioning this particular common.js file content, or I can use this file content as well. So individually I can use this summary as a HTML page. Also this one, no or same miscellaneous, these are all present, and this is not my master web file. Now as this particular web file is present, right? Now I can go directly into this particular web pages and then use this particular file like this. So in this way, right, you can easily use refer your common JS file inside another JS. So let us test this particular one. If you click on this one, there was one particular error. Let's go back to here. We go back to the sources and see here. There was an inside syntax error. Page and to the test page. Now this particular page will have that particular common JS file is also that is being present. There is also one of the other common requirements, right? So we can add these on change events. So as I explained here is an on click event, right? So in the same way we can use this on change event. Okay. So what I am going to do it is just I am going to use this on and then it is a change. Now I am going to use here function. Let me clear my cache. Let me clear my config. Let me refresh my test page. So do you see this one? So whenever I remove so any value on this particular postal code has been changed, right? Then this script has been fixed. If you go back and see it here, my code here. So this is my ID on. This is my change. Okay. So here I can I go and get this particular details. Okay. I can also write this. I can copy this postal code to this particular street through as well by getting that particular details. So we can also do that by taking this street. It is nothing but the ID here is the line one. So just I'll go here and say that I can get this particular value. And then we can add it here. I can clear my cache and I can refresh my page. See, observe my street one does not have any value. Now I am going to uh, change it. You see this? The postal code followed by this 50017. Okay, this is how you can easily work on your custom components and the custom codes. Here in this particular demo I showed this different events like on click and assigning value and providing this validation and how you can click this particular and how you can include any particular JS files, other how you can refer any other common JS files into here. So with this, right, the demo gets reduced. This is how you can perform any of your custom validations or custom scripts that you can do it inside this particular portal, OT liner.
Yeah, thank you, Venkat, for explaining all this demo that we discussed today. So this is what we wanted to cover in today's session. So thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for our next session where we will be bringing another topic. And all of our past sessions are available on the C Sharp Corner Live TV, so you can watch all the sessions there. So feel free to watch there and share with your network. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you very much.